what we're talking about here.
It is, and I should do more screen sharing because I've got some great information on my archive at the Serapeum. It's basically all the stuff they're deleting from the internet in terms of theology, conspiracy, science, history, all of it.
I've spent a lot of time out there, just to let you know.
Great.
Yeah,
that's
great stuff.
Enjoy it. It has been an asset to many people. They love it. I get great reviews, and we test everything by debate. We actually do debates to test this material.
Oh, really? So we started with 2 Thessalonians. I did that accidentally, by the way.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay.
This is a chart of just some of the things that he's completed. It is not even exhaustive. It's not finished.
Doesn't the Antichrist have a wound on his head?
Well, that happened already, and some people are seeing the fake ear shot that never happened as that wound. That's not actually it, and that's not a prophecy. But what happened is Nimrod had his head cut off, and he was reborn in Trump. And there's a sordid detail of our invasion of Iraq to steal a body found in the desert under a drained river, the Euphrates River. They basically found the tomb of the Antichrist, son of perdition, that Jesus warned us not to go to. You know, if they say he's in the desert, don't go there. Okay, if they find him in the secret place, don't go it. Don't trust it, is what Jesus was telling us, and I'm paraphrasing from memory. This tomb was found in Iraq, and 3 months later, weapons of mass destruction, and we have to go kill 1 million people to steal this body and invade the museum and take all of the cuneiform resurrection stuff. So after we faked weapons of mass destruction, killed 1 million people, and took this evil Nephilim demonic flesh from a perfectly preserved tomb under the river, the god of the dying and resurrecting sun god, little g, of all the false religions, including the Jews. Judaism is really Talmudism. It has nothing to do with the Bible. It's the anti-Bible.
You know what we could do someday is I could play this and then share my screen, but I'm not going to do that because I got you here and I want to hear you go through this stuff so quickly. So we've got Nimrod, which is 2,000 years after Gilgamesh, right?
So there's Nimrod is the man of many names, and there's a family related to this, and it's basically the story of Noah with different tongues. So with Noah, you have a flood because all flesh is corrupted. Noah is saved because he's pure in his genetics. The Bible says generations. That's basically Bible talk for genetics.
Okay.
And then Noah and his family did not have any wives for the sons. They took wives from all flesh corrupted. And in the post-flood world, the sinful son had epigenetically, there's explanations for this, because if you murder someone, for example, you'll scar your DNA. They can test for it. They can see it. If you have a child, it'll pass to your child. They can test for it. They can see it, never having committed murder. So that is God's curses and blessings in our genetics being proven right there. So that's the explanation as to why only Ham had monster babies, and Ham had Canaan. And Canaan was the one that God wanted to, quote unquote, leave nothing alive and wanted to wipe out, because those were the monsters, the giants of the post-flood world, like you get Goliath and stuff later. So that's the family line that this comes from. And Nimrod, king of the world, of the old world, basically the witch king, worshiping the fallen angels of the pre-flood world, wanting to kill God, thinking that they could beat him, united mankind against God, built the Tower of Babel, started the Freemasons and all the secret society stuff, and then later they started the language of symbols to get back together after the towers babbling, and all the languages and peoples were split. And then you get all these different names for the same character, like I talked about with Nimrod, and all of them have different names. So there's a family lineage here. There's actually a bunch of giants back there, and Nimrod became a Gibborim later, a giant, a monster later in life as born a human. He actually chose to become one. His cousins were giants. He probably wanted their power, and that's probably how he got it. They had the kind of technology remembered in those days from the pre-flood genetic world, where they were doing all kinds of weird stuff and mixing flesh. So my theory is simple, that Nimrod, being the obvious predecessor of the beast that was and is not and yet will be, having had his head cut off, killed, and brought back through genetic, Jurassic Park stuff, we found his body. And in terms of Gilgamesh, I believe Gilgamesh is probably Nimrod, or one of his many names, but it might be one of his grandparents or something. There's some argument, is it Gilgamesh or is it in Merkar? Is it Gilgamesh or is it in Merkar? And either way, the man of many names and all of his giant cousins took over the world and tried to kill God, and there are lineages and religions dedicated to this on every continent, basically, to the praise of the giants and the cone-headed monsters. You can look at Nefertiti and Akhenaten in Egypt, for example. Look at the walls, look at the murals, look at what they were putting on those walls. Animal-human mixtures, giants, and worshipping the cone-headed demon gods, basically. That's what they're talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what Genesis is talking about. We just don't call them gods. We call them Nephilim, and they're demons when they die. That's where they come from. But so this is the context, and whether it's Inmerkar or Gilgamesh, I believe that they found that body, and then afterwards the deep states, DARPA and In-Q-Tel, the dark money that they have unlimited access to with the printer, started to fund what we know of as genetic resurrection technology startups. Jurassic Park companies playing God with ancient genetics, trying to bring back that body. Within a few years, they were able to produce results. They were showing us woolly mammoth meatballs bigger than my head for climate change. Bowling ball size resurrected meat from an ancient mammoth. We are there. They got the body, they got the resurrection tablets, they have the genetics of the son of perdition, the beast that was and is not and yet will be, has apparently now become back. And I think they basically injected Nimrod into Trump, and he has started to fulfill all of these check boxes.
Wow.